right, so Bluebird from Band on the Run, released in 1973. And I actually got quite a few requests to do this one recently too, so really, really nice song. I've always really loved this song. It's kind of got that jazzy sort of calypso feel to it. And Band on the Run was recorded in Lagos, Nigeria. And the interesting thing about this song is the local musicians in Nigeria, like Paul wanted to use them on the record to try and capture a bit of the vibe there, you know, but they accused him of coming there to try and steal their sound. So he basically said, screw it, and they did it themselves. And at that point, it was just him and Linda and Denny Lane, because the drummer and the guitarist had quit like 2 days before they left to go to Nigeria. But the interesting thing about this song is that the percussion on the song, which to me is really key point of it, is actually played by a guy from Nigeria, but in London, because they finished the song off at Air Studios, George Martin Studios in London. And this guy was around, his name was Remy Kabaka, and he's actually from Nigeria, but he wound up playing his thing at Air Studios in London. So just kind of a cool twist there. Anyway, so this one, we're detuned in this one, okay, a whole step. So when we're playing that F major 7, it's actually an E flat major 7, okay? And by detuning a whole step, it really, you'll notice right away, like it just is so easy to play the guitar, the strings pressed down so easy. And it just sounds so much more rich and full. Less tension on the strings, right? Anyway, so we're going to start this out with this A minor 7 up here, and you can play that a bunch of ways. I did it 2 different ways in the demo. You can play it the standard way there, just barring on 7, or barring on 5 and A7. Or you can do it that way, where you're going to bar the D, G, and B and E strings, and you can get that A note on E5 with your thumb if you want. You know, you could do it like that if you like using your thumb. And I don't really, not much of a thumb player, so I like to do it that way. Or this way, whatever way you want, right? And we're just going to come in with just a crescendo. And we're going to slide that down 2 frets. Okay? And then we're going to go to a C chord. It's just a C bar chord. Now, you could bar all those strings and hit that 6th note there. And I think I hear that in there sometimes. But more often than not, I think the highest note I hear is that 3rd. So, but if you get that 6 in there, it's going to be fine, okay? And you can, you know, either bar that with your 3rd finger or your little finger. And the strumming on that is like this. Down, up, slash. Right? Down, up, slash, up, down, up, down. Okay, and it's really even. All right, and then we're going to go to this F major 7, which is like an F chord, but you just leave that E open. And if you can get that F note with your thumb there, and also get that open E, all the better. Like I can't do that. My hand is kind of short, so if I get that F note, I can't get that E note, so I just forego that note and just play it this way, which is just fine. You don't even really miss this note, especially if you have a bass player. Okay, so far we've got. Now we're going to go to this chord, which is exactly the same as that one, just down 2 frets. And this time we're definitely going to play that sixth. We do the whole thing again. Now we go into the chorus, and the chorus is really cool, and it's like, you know, a lot of McCartney stuff, you know, whether you like the song or you don't like the song, there's always at least one really cool thing in all of his songs, and this one it's the chorus, and it goes like this. And that's just real classic McCartney / Beatles, right? So what we're doing there is we've got a D minor chord, and we're going to just do arpeggios, right? So we've got D, G, B, E, and we try and hold that F note on the E string, while we move this third finger down to the C note on A3. So, and the tendency there is to snub out that F note, you know, while we reach to get that C note, but really want to focus on keeping that bar intact. Okay, and then we've got C, open D, and the G string. Okay, and that right there is probably what you want to practice, because you also, you know, you don't want to snub out that D string by putting your, you know, getting that C note on the A string. Okay, now you could also play it with your little finger there instead of your third finger, and you could just hold it there the whole time. Right? You know, if that's easier for you. For me, that's a little harder. I like doing it that way. Okay, so then we're going to go. We're going to hit that F note on D3 with our little finger. Right? And then we're going to play an A7. And we're just going to arpeggiate that. D string, G string, B string, E string. We're going to play an A in the bottom and arpeggiate that up to the B string. So on that A chord, you've got okay, so that whole thing slowly. Go up to the B flat, add 6, and actually there the guitar sort of drops out while the vocals sort of take over, but I just, if you listen really carefully, you can hear that, right? Just A string, D string, G string, B string, and then, right? F major 7. Okay, so let's do that whole chorus. So coming out of okay, and that's pretty well it for the verses and the chorus. But there's one other section at the end of the song, where he gets into this Bluebird thing. Okay, so we've got D minor to B flat with that sixth, add six. And then he goes. And actually what's happening there is the guitar is actually just going to go, right? Open D, A3, A1, open A. Okay, but there's a piano that's kind of going those chords there, right? But I think if you're playing this by yourself, you just want to do these two-note chords. Kind of like, you know, those Blackbird chords, right? Right? With the A string and the B string. So how it is it's A5 and B6, A3, B5, A1, B3, open A, B2. So I got, and what I do is I hybrid pick that, right? So I'm gonna pick the A note with my pick and use my middle finger to get the B string, right? So. Okay, and you know, if that's too much for you, just do the open strings, just the low part, right? And don't do that. But I think that sounds great, you know? Okay, and then we're into the chorus out of that, right? So. And that's it. That's the song. Great song, you know, really, really mellow. Off of a fantastic album. So many great songs in this album. And for me, it's like maybe technically his best album, although I personally like Ram the best. I think that's just amazing record. But anyway, this one's really, really nice to play on your own because it. Like a great campfire type song. All right, that's it. I hope you get something out of it. Hope you enjoy playing the song, and we'll talk to you next time.